Good afternoon, Dr. Gary on the road. We are dental practice brokers, and I'm a dentist myself. We've been doing the brokerage for 11 years, and I was a dentist for 25. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com, and our phone number is 201-663-0935, 201-663-0935. We're here to provide information for you about dental practice brokerage, and after 11 years, I feel we have some valuable information. And of course, being a dentist for 25 years, we think that's helpful also. We now have a staff of 8 employees, including 2 CPA accountants, and we are at your service, buyer or seller, for free consultations from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. So please feel free to call us if you need advice on purchasing or selling, and whether you're a private individual or you're a seller that wants to sell to a DSO, who we often will bring to the table, and they pay our commission. The information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes. It is not business or legal advice. So please bear that in mind. All right. So let's see what we have this morning. We try to bring you up and coming information and day by day, sometimes hour by hour events. This morning, we had a seller that was selling to a DSO and became upset after the multiple information requests that he had. There was a lot of requests, I will admit. And then the DSO, which is typical now of the DSOs, they wanted to track it monthly, month by month from year 2019. They want to see the trends because going through COVID, going through the pandemic, it brings in a different dynamic, so they wanted to analyze it a bit more. And this has been going on for a little while, and suddenly this morning, the seller says, that's it, I've terminated, I'm not selling anymore. Well, it's upsetting to me. I'd known during the time period working with him, he needed a lot of contact, a lot of feedback, and that's okay. Every doctor's different. He had a good practice, but he reached a point that he said enough's enough. He didn't want any more paperwork requests. That paperwork was information about month-to-month to production, collections, etc. And he felt he had already given enough. And I can understand what he means, but the private equity company, that is the DSO, needed it. So I have to come in there and try to rescue this one way or the other. But this information burnout, information request from a doctor that's just beginning to sell this practice, that hasn't sold the practice before, compared to an underwriting department at a DSO who do this all the time, and it's a simple request to them to get monthly production, collection reports, and or profit and loss every month for like a year and a half. They may be accustomed to that. The selling dentist generally is not accustomed to it, and he will react. And we've been asking this one doctor for information and more information. Finally, he blew up, and I can understand. But I was also bringing him to one of the best companies out there. So sometimes cool heads should prevail. I've got to call him and see what I can do to rescue this. And hopefully he will, because I know in my heart this is the best company for him with the best financials. And post-closing, he's going to make several $100,000 in about 2 years when the holdback money and when they recapitalize. So I wish he wouldn't pull out now. And I have to talk to him. But this is an example where the buyer doesn't want to talk to the seller because the seller doesn't want to talk to the buyer because the seller's pissed now. So I come in between. I'm sort of the neutral party. But something I'd like you to learn and understand, this happens in every deal. Also, every deal, even if it's to the corporate, well, maybe corporate has a 75% success rate, whereas the private practice, about 40% of the deals do fall apart. 40% on the private practices, less on the DSO model. But anyway, so this doctor's upset at me and doesn't want to deal with my company that I'm promoting. I don't work for them. I just promoted a DSO. Doesn't want to deal with them. And this is what happens in deals. This is why deals can blow apart. This is why that person in between a la broker, such as ourselves, are there to mend these broken communications. That's what we're trying to do now. But just be aware of that no deal goes smoothly. We're here to help you, and we'll try to get through all crisis. Which also makes it another case in point that it's important you have good attorneys at both ends that are dental that could get you through this. So it'll be a combination of the attorneys and going back to the original issue with the request of many, many, many documents, and the seller was just burning out from it. All right, so that's a short one that happened today. I have to go in and resolve this. Let me see what I can do. I'm trying.